All right, Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. For those who have not seen, the Russell Westbrook-led Oklahoma City Thunder have been officially eliminated from the postseason in 5 games to the Houston Rockets. We're going to talk about this tonight. I may talk about this a little bit tomorrow, but for the most part, we're done talking about the soon-to-be MVP Russell Westbrook and his Thunder probably until this offseason. It's very unfortunate that I know the league isn't happy about this, that the MVP, the B, won't be able to get his award until top of next season. Remember, they usually give that award out in the second round of the playoffs. Russ won't be around for that. His team has been eliminated. For those who didn't watch the game, you pretty much have seen this game if you watch any other game in this series for the most part. It pretty much was dominated by the Thunder, and Russ had a huge third quarter, but he tired himself out, and he had nothing to give in the fourth. And because Russ dominated the third quarter and not the OKC Thunder, none of his teammates had momentum. None of his teammates had rhythm. So once the fourth quarter hit, Russ was tired. He wasn't making any shots, and he had nobody to pass the ball to. Now, let's make this clear. He does not have a lot of help to begin with. But, I mean, Russ, if I were you, now this sounds crazy because I'm not a basketball player. I'd rather lose. Hear me out now. I'd rather lose trying to get my teammates involved than lose with me going for 47 and I'm tired in the fourth quarter and I have nothing left to give the basketball game, because that's what has happened for 3 out of the 5 games in the series. Hence, these were all Thunder losses, all right? My thing with Russ is going into this offseason, there's 2 things that the Oklahoma City Thunder need to address. There are 2 things, and I'll cover this more in detail some point soon. There's 2 things that the Thunder need to address immediately. Russell Westbrook needs to, A, talk to free agents, go out and recruit, something that he has not wanted to do throughout his career, and B, the Thunder need to get shooting, all right? So as the playoffs went on in this first round, I no longer say Russell Westbrook doesn't have help. That's a lie. He has defenders, all right? Roberson is a defender. Steven Adams can defend. You can bring Taj Gibson in and stretches to defend. What Russell Westbrook doesn't have is shooting. And with the way he plays the game of basketball, he needs shooting. So I won't go as far as to say that he doesn't have any players that can't play basketball. But when your point guard is missing 10, 12 free throws, your shooting guard in Roberson is missing 10, 12 free throws a game, you can't put him on the line, which means your shooting guard can't drive the basketball because they're going to foul him. Your shooting guard can't make a perimeter shot to save his life. I mean, the court spacing is terrible, and it's just allowing people to play off of Roberson. They're playing 5-6 feet off Roberson and literally doubling Russ as soon as he passed half court. Got to address that. I think another thing Russ has to do is believe in Victor Oladipo a little bit more. There might be some downfalls in that, but I think Victor Oladipo has enough in him to work with. Now, Victor has to get in the gym and step up this offseason and get in that gym with Russell Westbrook and work some things out. Because right now, Russ can't convince guys to come to Oklahoma City, because I don't think guys around the league want to play with him. They respect his game, but from afar. They don't want to play with Brody. And hence, that's why Kevin Durant, who is, might I add, already in the second round, living his life like it's golden, as you've seen last night against the Portland Trail Blazers. And Russell Westbrook is eliminated in 5 games. All right, remember, this team last year was 1 fourth quarter away from going to the NBA Finals. Remember, they were up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors, who ended up going 7 games with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Western Conference Finals last year. They were that close. And I think those are a couple things that the Thunder need to do. Back to this game again. I mean, stay the course. Russ, you have to commit to passing the basketball at some point in the future. I get it. He is not playing with a lot of help. There's not a lot of guys that want the basketball. And let me give Billy Donovan some blame too, because he went with this lineup of Roberson and Oladipo at the 2 and the 3. I think when Oladipo didn't have it going, I think he could have moved Oladipo out of the lineup and went with McDermott, took the L on took the L on defense and just tried to put some shooting on the court. Because Roberson, I mean, you got to keep him on the court. He's the only guy that's capable of guarding a guy like James Harden, who struggled in this series. And by the way, speaking of the Houston Rockets, the way they didn't play great in this series. They won games, and pretty much in spite of not playing great. Oh, the Thunder struggled so bad in the fourth quarters of this series that the Rockets just were good enough to get by, and their three-point shooting was good enough to get by. It wasn't great in this series. Eric Gordon wasn't great in a couple games. He wasn't great tonight. Lou Williams was pretty good tonight, and he was great a couple games in this series. Patrick Beverley played pretty good defense on Russell Westbrook throughout the series. Ryan Anderson is struggling. So when you put this in the grand scheme of things, Houston has they got to get ready for. It looks like the San Antonio Spurs. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to pick Houston going into this series with San Antonio. But right now, I'm not 100% sure. All right? And don't get me started if the Memphis Grizzlies get Houston. They've always given the Rockets problems. All right? So that's looking at it from Houston's perspective. Again, the Thunder are now eliminated. We'll have more time to talk about Houston, whoever they're playing next round soon. But for the future MVP who will be announced MVP next week or so, Brody. It's very unfortunate that this is how his season ends, but let's make it clear. This is why he's the most valuable player in the league, all right? Because he doesn't have enough shooting in a league that is controlled by teams like Golden State and Cleveland and Houston, who all can shoot, and even San Antonio. These teams all can shoot, and Russell Westbrook doesn't have shooting. That's why he's the most valuable player, because he got a team that doesn't have shooting, all right? In spite of that, to a 6th seed in the playoffs. That's why he's the most valuable player. Without Russell Westbrook, this team is a lottery team. Let's not take away from the season that this man has had. A remarkable triple-double averaging season hasn't been done since Oscar Robertson. Let's not take anything away from Russ. But he needs to buy into going out and recruiting some teammates. Free agent market will be wide open. And the Thunder need to buy in and getting this brother some help. Shooting, to be exact. Alfred Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. Thank y'all for the time of support. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at is Mr. Teleferro. And again, I always check out my website, it's MrT.com. Who keeping it real like I am? I'm sorry. Just ain't too many out there like me. Sports, hip-hop, I'm doing it all right now. Thank y'all for the time, love, support. Salute. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@ismrteleferro.com. Again, that's booking@ismrteleferro.com.